Welcome to Unit 4. So in this unit, we are going to learn more about the lipids, its basic structure and its classifications, and what are the functions of lipids. Chemical esters of fatty acid and glycerol. And examples are fats, oils, waxes, phospholipids and glycolipids, and steroids, terpenes, and some hormones like estrogen and progesterone belongs to this category. What are the basic functions of lipids? So it's an important forms of energy. It's a large amount of energy stored in lipids. So it's a storage form of energy and becomes the structural components of biomembrane. You might have heard about the fluid mosaic model. So it forms the part of the skin or membrane. It gives an insulation that prevents the loss of heat energy from the body. It gives definite shape and contour to the body and protect the internal organ. It acts as a shock absorber. Metabolic regulators, it hormones. It regulate what? Metabolism. Electric insulators in neurons. Myelin sheath in neurons that helps to travel the impulse much more faster than the non-myelinated neurons. And it also helps in absorption of fat-soluble vitamins. So lipids are essential in absorbing certain vitamins. So such vitamins are called fat-soluble vitamins. And also it's a taste and palatability. It gives some good flavor, some good taste to the food items that we are consuming in normal days. That's why normally we are using oils, the coconut oils, the sunflower oil, like that. Now, how the lipids are classified? So there are three categories. One is called simple lipids because the structure is simple lipids. Then compound lipids, that much more complex, and derived lipids, from which other compounds are derived. So simple lipids, compound lipids, and derived lipids are three categories under the lipids. Now, what are the simple lipids? So they are the esters of fatty acid. Compound lipids means what? Esters of fatty acid and alcohol contain other groups also. In addition to the fatty acid and glycerol, there are other groups also like phosphorus, glucose, something like that. So this is called compound lipids. And derived lipids composed of hydrocarbon rings and long hydrocarbon side chains. So this is what derived lipids. Now the simple lipids are classified into two groups, mainly two groups, fats and fats waxes. And there is one more group that's called the oils in liquid forms. Oils, fats and waxes. So let's look at simple lipids classifications. So it's divided into fats, oils and waxes. Example for fats are what? The honey wax, butter, oils. The fats exist in solid forms, while the oil seen in liquid forms. So this has a lesser melting point than this. Fats have higher melting point, while oils have lesser melting point. The other one is the waxes. It's commonly waxes comes under the sperm wax or the honey wax. All these comes under. So these fats, oils, waxes comes under the simple lipids. While the compound lipids, there are two categories. One is called the phospholipid and the glycolipid. So if the lipid has an additional group called phosphate, then it is called a phospholipid. If the lipid has an additional group called like glucose, then it's called a glycolipid. So phospholipid examples are what are lecithin and cephalin are the two examples, while glycolipids are examples. Examples for glycolipids are cerebrosides and gangliosides. The name itself says that cerebroside, cerebrum is in the brain. Gangliosides means it's in the ganglion neurons mainly. So this is a classification of compound lipid. Now moving on to derived lipids, there are two categories under it. One is called steroids and next one is called the prostaglandins. Steroids and prostaglandins. This belongs to the hormones. Steroids, estrogen, progesterone, prostaglandins are also local hormones. It comes to later. Now, what is the definition of simple lipids? So they are the esters of fatty acid and glycerol. Esters of fatty acid and glycerol. So fats are made up of glycerol and fatty acid, while in waxes is made up of fatty acid and cetyl alcohol. Usually lipid is composed of a glycerol molecules and three fatty acid. Hence they are called what? Triglycerides. Tri means what? Three. So what's the three number denotes? It's composed of three fatty acid and one glycerol molecules. Such lipid is called what? Triglycerides, or simply called the simplest neutral fat. So triglyceride is the simplest form of lipids. Let's look at what's the structure. So one of the examples for triglycerides is tripalmitin. Tripalmitin means what? It's composed of palmitic acid. And tristearine means what? It's composed of stearic acid. So this is a glycerol molecules. One glycerol molecules combined with one fatty acid, two fatty acid, and three fatty acid. So it's called three fatty acid. If this compound is a tripalmitin, ഈ compound ആണ് എവിടെയെങ്കിലും. So there will be one glycerol molecules. This fatty acid is named as what? Palmitic acid. 1, 2, 3. Three palmitic acid will be there in the tripalmitin. If this compound is a tristearine, this fatty acid will be what? Stearic acid. 3 stearic acid. And how does the lipids is formed? Triglycerides is formed. So this is what a simple forms of what? Glycerol molecular formula of glycerol CHOH, CHOH, CH2OH. So this is a fatty acid. So this is acid group. These are the acid group. And this is long side chains. So the R group. So this is the R group. R group means what? The side chains. Now this H and here the OH combine together to form what? Contains together to form water molecules. So that forms a bond. So this bond is called what? This bond is called the ester bond. Okay, same here. Here also an ester bond is formed. Also here an ester bond is formed. So three ester bonds are formed. So one glycerol molecule combined with three fatty acid through three ester bond with the liberation of three water molecules. So this structure is called what? Triglycerides. Monoglycerides, diglycerides, and triglycerides. So what is a ester bond? Ester bond is a bond that links one glycerol molecules and a fatty acid. So that connects glycerol and fatty acid with the elimination of one molecule of water. So how many ester bonds are here in a triglycerides? Three ester bonds are there. 1, 2, 3. So remember there are three important bonds. So one is the first bond we already told is a glycosidic bond. Glycosidic bonds links what? Glycosidic bonds link two monosaccharides. So peptide bonds links two amino acid. Ester bond links glycerol and fatty acid. So what are the waxes? Waxes are solid lipids. Example for waxes are what? Uh, Honeybee wax, sperm wax, sperm whale wax. So actually, the waxes are esters of fatty acid with monohydric alcohols of higher molecular weight. Fatty acids have 14 to 36 carbon atoms. Alcohol has 16 carbon atom to 36 carbon atom. It's a long chain. So it's simply it means what? The waxes are composed of fatty acid and long chain alcohol. And what are the examples? Sperm whale wax contain palmitic acid and cetyl alcohol, and it is called cetyl palmitate. The sperm whale wax is called what? Cetyl palmitate. Cetyl palmitate. Okay. So this is a formation of what? Cetyl palmitate. This is palmitic acid having 15 carbon atoms. This is a cetyl alcohol, and this is a cetyl palmitate. The bee wax contain palmitic acid and myrcel alcohol, and is called a myrcel palmitate. The same palmitic acid, but instead of cetyl alcohol, it's a myrcel alcohol. Now, what is this function? Function: hair, wool, and fur are coated with what? Waxes, which makes insoluble. It acts as a protective coating to keep the skin pliable, lubricated, and it acts as a waterproof. So these are the main functions of what? Simple lipids. And waxes are the chief storage form of fuel in planktonic forms. So plankton, phytoplankton, they stores what? Waxes as a chief storage forms. Act as a major food items.